Hey everyone, I'm Artebreeze. This is Summoner Wars, and welcome to Season 4 of the Summoner Wars League, Week 1. This game is between Orange Lazarus and Physch. Physch is the Phoenix Elves, and Orange Lazarus is the Fallen Kingdom. You can see the carrier quickly moves to seal off the forward summoning point. The Undead Archer defeats the Ember Archer, who I don't like Ember Archers in this matchup because of carriers and their low health. They seal off the two summoning spots. This is a nice use of burn here because it's only costs a card and it gives Maldaria the opportunity to attack and finish that carrier. That's a nice play by Physch. We're going to see something interesting out of Ret Talus here. He's going to move up forward quite aggressively right into the midfield. I typically try and keep Ret Talus more towards my own back end. His power is to raise units and he hurts himself. He's always operating on low health and that makes him vulnerable. However, he's got a wall in his hand, so why not use him? By doubling up on the Hellforge, he's able to move that archer in and do a little bit of damage on Maldaria. For someone like me that has a style of Fallen Kingdom that's pretty much straight aggression, I probably would have done the same thing. Maldaria has such low health and Ret Talus has so many tools to get to Maldaria that when you have an opportunity to hit her, you should take that opportunity. Although maybe I would have done it a little different and split those Hellforge between the two. Either way, we've got Blinding Flare covering off as Maldaria makes her move into the midfield. Now, had there been a Purge in Orange Lazarus's hand, he would have been able to remove that blocker immediately and send an attacker in. And if that attacker was a warrior and he had blood summon, like he could have done catastrophic damage to an already injured Maldaria. Clearly that didn't happen. Maldaria was lucky, and Maldaria follows it up with a very strong turn, putting a wall in front of her and really sealing off access to Maldaria there in the midfield. I think this is a strong position for Maldaria to play from. As you can see, Ret Talus did take a step back, and that was a wise move as well. Ret Talus is much more comfortable in the backfield. And if he's not going to immediately move through the midfield, it makes a lot of sense to do what he's doing. However, they've kind of played themselves into a stalemate here with their gates. They're each covering each other's summoning points off, and they've created an effective barrier that separates the two factions, except for on the one side. Here we see Holy Ash working on that gate and destroying it. Now, ordinarily, you'd think that she's only exposed from one side, so it's not so bad. But this is the Fallen Kingdom, and they can deliver that much damage from one exposed side. And we're going to see that here in a moment. One thing to be aware of as well, whenever Maldaria uses gates in the midfield, she has a very hard time. The Phoenix Elves have a very hard time attacking walls. You've got archers that effectively do more damage. You've got guardians that effectively do more damage. But those are just against units. It's not against walls. Maldaria has a hard time breaking through walls. Anyway, as you can see, Holy Ash took 6 damage that turn. It might have been possible to do more, actually, thinking about that turn in hindsight. Had the carrier destroyed the one carrier in front, that archer there, and then maybe gone for it. I mean, the chances of getting 2 out of 2 with melee dice are not terrible. That was something that was worth considering anyways. Had they done that, then Holy Ash would have been gone, and the complexion of that entrance might have changed a little bit. That is, however, a very strong position for a Fire Beast, because a Fire Beast is not a champion, and you don't want to spend too many resources destroying it needlessly. When a Fire Beast can be surrounded by carriers, they will usually fall and become a carrier, but if they can only be hit from one side, that's a strong position for them to be in. Here, of course, they're going to be hit from 2 sides. You can see Goldass is out. I don't know if I've ever seen Goldass useful in a game. I've seen people try. I've tried it myself. He just doesn't seem to work. And I don't quite know why. Obviously, the potential is there. Maybe if he had a ranged attack, he'd have been more useful. I don't know. This is a strong position for the Fallen Kingdom to be in, of course. But the Phoenix Elves have that ability to do all that instant damage, and they're showing it right now. They can really beat back those carriers. It's important to target carriers whenever you can, because if you let the momentum of carriers grow and grow, you're going to start losing economy to them very quickly. Here, Goldass survives. Blinding Flare and Retribution is played, and I think there's a Phoenix, so no matter what you do, it's going to hurt. This is an interesting choice here. I don't know if they would have been better off trying to just destroy that gate using Goldass and the Warrior. And then the carrier here recycles Goldass into another carrier, which carry is not as great as a 9 AV unit, of course. But it's ultimately not going to matter here. I tend to avoid summoning Ember Archers at all costs in this matchup. At least that's how I've been playing it lately. And I also avoid summoning Fire Beasts because I am that worried about carriers. I really don't want to give them a sniff. Guardians are very hard to take down for carriers, and Ember Mages are not impossible, but they're hard as well. To get them from one side would require all 3 attacks, regardless of how much damage you do. And here you see carriers repopulating, filling in for damaged units. This is the economical style that I was talking about in the other video. This is maybe a better example. As I was saying in that other video, there's 2 ways to play the Fallen Kingdom. You can either do straight assassination like I seem to prefer, or you can do it more like this, which is based on carriers and grinding and raising extra units with Ret Talus to economically beat the opponent. You can see that the Fallen Kingdom are leaning down on the Phoenix Elves, but they're holding their own. But here's a big mistake. This is what I was talking about earlier. Here comes Purge. Going to strip that blocker right off. He's got so many units on the board. Once he gets a shot at Maldaria with that Warrior that's right behind, he can indeed end this game. You saw a double Purge there. See, Purge hit the Ember Mage. Here's the roll, and that's actually a whiff, which is too bad. Ret Talus is in a pretty shaky position there. Yeah, and with a burn, Maldaria can win this game. That's how easy it'll flip. And Maldaria goes 1 for 4 and whiffs. I've said it before, I've been saying it a lot lately. Ranged dice will fail you at least once a game. I don't know what the answer or solution there is. Here we've got 6 AV on 4, and it also whiffs. What a wild finish to this game. There was, now here's something interesting too. That Ember Mage could have finished it, or that Ember Archer could have finished it right there. He just had to move up and hit Ret Talus, but I don't know if Physch was being cheeky or not. Wanted the Summoner to finish the Summoner. 4 AV is going to do it. Good game, guys. Well played. Wild finish.